And we are rolling on November 5th here at UCLA in Los Angeles, California, where it's a beautiful day. This is part 2, where we're actually hearing a PC speech from Stephanie.
Hi, I'm Stephanie.
Hi, Stephanie.
Billy Joel, the pianist and composer, once said, "As human beings, we're not alone. We are not crazy, we are not completely out of our minds. There are others like us who feel as we do, who live as we do, who love as we do, who are like us." And I think what he means by this is that we are all similar in some way, and by that we are all human beings. And by human beings, we deserve to be treated with respect, and we deserve to feel like we are being heard and we are treated like human beings. Which, today I get to share with you my personal commitment, which is treating others as if they are human beings. I will share with you 2 reasons why I'm personally committed to this, as well as 3 ways that I have demonstrated my personal commitment. I hope that there's no question in any of your guys' minds that people do need to be treated with respect, and that people need to feel like they are heard, because as individuals we all have our own stories, our own dreams, our own worries, and we need to respect those, and we need to treat everybody like they matter, because, like I said, we all matter. So let me tell you a little bit about my personal commitment in treating others like human beings. The first reason I'm personally committed to treating others as human beings is my sister. My sister was my hero. She was somebody who taught me how to tie my shoes. She was my shoulder to cry on. When I was picked on at school, she was somebody that I looked up to, who I admired. However, when I was 12 years old, this all changed. She became angry, she became mean, she became somebody who wasn't herself. And at times, honestly, she was completely out of her mind. She would say things that didn't make sense, and she would just be an awful human being. And so later on, she was soon diagnosed with bipolar disorder. And the diagnosis itself explained the weird behaviors, it explained the things that she did, but the therapy that she went to, the medication she was given, never brought my sister back. I have never had a conversation like I used to before. I've never had the sister back that I used to admire. And I spent 10 years of my life, the past 10 years, being angry at her and hating the fact that she wasn't the hero and the person that I looked up to anymore. And I shut her out of my life. I stopped talking to her. I stopped treating her like a sister, and I stopped treating her as a human being. And last year I had this realization that I was being an awful person. I was not being the sister I was supposed to be. I was not being there for her and not treating her as she should be. And that was kind of the moment where I realized that I need to be personally committed to being a better sister to her and to being there for her and treating people like they should be treated, because it's important. The second reason that I'm personally committed to treating people as human beings is a more philosophical reason. And I think that treating people as human beings, we have the ability to prevent tragedies. And by tragedies, I mean things like Columbine. I mean shootings at colleges, and I mean shootings at your local movie theater. All of these things, and terrible things that they did, were done by people who have mental illness, like my sister does, and people who feel like they were completely ostracized from society and not connected. And when I saw these things on the news, I felt, and I was reminded that my own sister has a mental illness, and if maybe she felt this way and that she felt not connected, then maybe that could lead to something like that. So at that moment, I was brought back and realized that this is important to treat people like human beings so we can prevent possible tragedies from happening, as well as just being good human beings to help others and be there for them, because maybe those shootings wouldn't have happened if somebody was there for them, if somebody respected them, if somebody treated them like a human being. So third, I want to share with you 3 ways that I have demonstrated my personal commitment to treating people as human beings. The first, like I said earlier, I have gotten over myself and come to terms with my relationship with my sister, and really tried to rebuild and reestablish this relationship. And I'm doing this by calling her every week and by checking in with her and asking how her day is and asking about her life and really trying to communicate to her that I am sorry about treating her the way that I did, and as well as communicating to her that I do respect her and that I do value her as a human being. The second way that I am demonstrating my personal commitment to treating people as human beings is something that I actually learned in this class. That Professor Miller taught us how to convey respect to everybody that we meet. So everybody that I do meet, I repeat the mantra in my head of I respect you. And I feel like every time I do that, I make a personal connection. And I really convey to them that I do respect them as well as I respect them as a human being. And the third and last way that I have demonstrated that I treat everyone like a human being is I volunteer in a hospital in a psychiatric ward, and I find that physicians and nurses, and even myself sometimes, find it really hard to interact with the patients and treat them with the respect that they need, as well as treat them as their human beings. So what I've tried to do is really connect with each patient that I talk to, ask them about their lives, and make that bond that really shows that I care about them and that I really respect and treat them as a human being. So fourth, I want to share with you the feelings that I got from doing these actions, which was this feeling that I was making bonds. I was reestablishing the relationship that I had with my sister, and also building new bonds with more people, and really fostering a sense of inclusion as well as making people feel like they are valued and respected. So in summary, I have shared with you 2 reasons why I'm personally committed to treating people as human beings, as well as 3 actions that I've demonstrated to fulfill this personal commitment. I hope that it is conveyed to all of you that I really am passionate about treating people as human beings because it's important. It's something that's affected my life personally with my sister, as well as it could affect your life on a college campus where somebody could come and feel not respected and feel like they aren't a human being, and that can result in terrible actions. So I hope that it's clear to you that this passion and personal commitment to treating others the way they should be is something really important in my life. And to return to the quote that I said at the beginning by Billy Joel, as human beings, we're not alone. We are not crazy, we are not completely out of our mind, there are others like us. And I hope that you all realize that there are others like you, and that it is important to acknowledge this and really foster that sense of inclusion and a sense of that we are all human beings and that we respect each other.
Thank you. 709.
I'm William.
Hi, William.
And I really liked your speech overall. I felt it was really personal, and I especially liked your first story because it was something that was very near to you, and I especially felt that like your admission of your own personal folly just established the personal connection even further.
Yes, that's right. Her own personal shortcoming in blocking out a problem in her life. Yes, please.
Hi, Michelle.
Hi, Michelle.
I like your speech. Your stories are really good. I think that I got the impression that you're kind of reliving it while you're telling the stories, so that kind of made your voice kind of trail off instead of projecting, since I saw you.
Yeah. Well, we want to do the felt sensing, and that's an important part of communicating the emotion. Well, I liked your speech. It obviously you need to work on word economy
Yes.
and tighten up your stories so they go a little better. You started with Billy Joel and ended with him. That was contemporary and good. And I think that, I think that the quote does convey the idea that we're all God's children, and that despite the diversity, everyone does deserve to be respected. Your thesis preview was fine. Your SIG statement, I especially liked the line, everyone has a story, and absolutely. Your first reason was your best story, where you shared with us something very personal, i.e. in a personal commitment. So you really were taking the assignment as I gave it to heart, and you really opened up about your sister with her bipolar problem and your own shortcomings and acknowledging it and dealing with it. I thought that was very powerful storytelling and very well done. On the second reason about, you know, noticing and reaching out to those isolated people we see around campus and around the world, in our worlds, is probably a good thing to do. That one was a little long and could have been tightened up. Your actions were consistent with your PC. I think you could have shortened those down a touch and just said, I call my sister every week. Appreciate you including me in one of your actions. And the volunteer in the psychiatric ward is consistent with your PC. When you perform these actions, I really felt you reliving the emotion, and so it was a very powerful speech in that respect. Your summary was good and short. Your conclusion could have just been, there's no doubt in this room I'm PC to, you know, being respectful, and you could have not included all that summary stuff. And then the Billy Joe thing. The final thing I want to say to you is, when you watch yourself tonight on YouTube, your walking is a little erratic.
Yes.
And I'd like to see you learn to walk purposefully and not sway so much, maybe Tai Chi, because you're just swaying and you're all over the place, and it's a little distracting. And I apologize for the camera, you know, kind of doing this stuff, because you weren't standing and delivering, standing and delivering, standing and delivering. But overall, it was a powerful speech and well told. Let's look at your kanais. Be confident. Be comfortable in walking. Make more eye contact. How'd it go?
Didn't feel that comfortable in walking because I think I feel like I just need to move, and then I end up doing this weird in between.
Yeah. That's what you were doing.
So that's a little bit hard. I need to practice actually just hitting each point and walking and doing that, and I think that would be more helpful. I think I did look around and try to make a point of making eye contact when I was saying things that I thought were important.
Mm-hmm.
The confidence thing I think is always going to be something that I'm always a little bit nervous doing, and getting up and saying those things, so I think that's just a fake.
Okay, you did a nice job. Thank you. Okay, our work is done. Return with honor. Thank you. That's me.
Yeah, did you get my score for the respect speech that I was missing?
Yes, 48.
Okay, I'll keep that in track. Thank you.
Thank you.